All right, you're all set,
Yeah. Oh, you're back. Great. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to part 2 of the art project entitled Your Attitude. I think that's so funny because my dad used to say that to me all the time. You better watch your attitude, boy. You know, that kind of a thing. It used to drive me nuts. And at the time, it was like, what do you mean? I'm mad. Of course I'm mad. I'm not being able to go here. I'm not being able to do that. That's a, you know, I never really kind of understood it completely what he was talking about. Although I must say that I was a fairly decently positive person when I was a kid. But, you know, things change and situations change. And like I said earlier in the first part, sometimes you can be real negative and sometimes you can be real positive, but if you kind of look at it as a whole of your everyday, in and out every day, are you a positive person or are you a negative person? Positive people brings things together. Negative people just kind of push people and push things away. And it can really affect your life. And I kind of learned that the hard way, you know? And so I'm hoping that you can kind of understand this in a way that maybe you can understand now, because boy, when I was your age, I really didn't know for sure exactly what that was all about. So anyway, we're back to talking about attitude and what that means, and we're illustrating this idea of good and bad attitudes with a magnet, bringing one side, bringing things together, and another one is getting rid of stuff, you know, even the good stuff. You know, when you're a real negative person, even good stuff that kind of comes your way, and you can kind of push that stuff away too. So anyway, so I hope you got your materials and you're working on this, and it's kind of interesting too that I said a moment ago that I didn't really know for sure when my father was talking about attitudes, or my teachers were talking about attitudes, because I'm just me, right? I mean, I remember being a little kid, and I'm just going, you know, sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm mad, sometimes I'm sad, that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about more about you generally, all the time. Ask yourself that. You over there, young lady over here, ask yourself, am I a pretty positive person most of the time? Or are you a negative person and is always kind of, no, I don't like that, or no, I don't want to do that, or, you know, it's because that kind of stuff, I mean, you may be this way now, either real positive or real negative, or not. You know, you may be what I call an equilibrium. An equilibrium, the word equilibrium is like, you got some positive, you're positive here, and you got your negative here, but it kind of balances out. It becomes kind of equal, right? Equilibrium is when you're not always mad, you're not always happy, you're just kind of in the middle, and everything is kind of okay and everything. That is really actually a science term, because we see that in nature too. So trying to get an equilibrium so you're not, you know, it would be wonderful. I tell you, it would be marvelous if we could be happy and joyous every single moment of our day. But you know as well as I do, that's really, really, really hard. So the best that we can really kind of ask for is have very little negativity and more positiveness in our lives. And a lot of it is up to you and how you think. in what you do. So, let's get back to the project. So we got the magnet, we got the bunny rabbit really secure on one side of it. So what are you going to do on the other side? Well, I'm going to be honest with you, I started out as a weenie dog, but it looked much, much more than a mouse. So I changed the ears. So you can do whatever you want. But keep in mind that when you do the other animal, it needs to be raised off the top of this thing. So what I did is I just kind of made some lines that kind of look like that, like something was coming off of it, right? And then over here I put the dog. Well, let me see if this one will look more like a weenie dog. There's a tail. That is the weirdest weenie dog I think I've ever made, right? Oh well. So, but you get my point. What we're doing is we're illustrating this idea. Art is usually something that, when you think of art, you think of something beautiful or, something, striking, something very creative, very artistic. But sometimes art, it's in science too. I remember I just saw a documentary on Leonardo da Vinci, and he had books and books and books that he created, designs of all kinds of things scientific. He designed, back before there was even airplanes, he had sketches of flying machines and parachutes, right? I mean, back then they could never have ever been built because they didn't have the materials and the know-how, the information to make them, but he had these really great ideas. And really kind of, when you think about it, this is kind of like, if you took the attitude thing away, this could be almost a scientific illustration, right? You're illustrating the two different kinds of power that magnets have. Something to draw something down, and the other is to expel or to push away. So I thought when I was doing this project, I was also watching this thing about Da Vinci, and I was going, well, that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to illustrate an idea, which is a good or bad attitude, and figure out a way to show the negative and the positiveness of my idea. And so, hey, you guys may come up with even a better idea, right? But that's what I chose to do. Okay, and I put a little cloud behind here just to make it, I don't know, to fancy it up a little bit. But you don't have to do this. This is just something that I did for myself because it looked kind of empty down here. There we go. Very cool. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start on with, now again, you can make this any color that you want, but I remember one just like that, except it was a little bit smaller, a real magnet, a horseshoe magnet that I had as a kid, and those were the colors that I had. That's the color of the magnets back then for kids. I don't know what they have now. If any of you know of any magnets, to where to buy magnets for, for kids and stuff, if you know, you can go to Facebook and leave a message. I've been meaning to buy one like this, so if you see something like that, it'd be great if you kind of can give me that information. Okay, here we go. And see how I'm turning these things, my paper? You don't have to keep your paper like this. If it's easier to color by putting it on the side, go for it. Make it as easy as possible to get this coloring down exactly the way that you want, right? You know, in the physical world, I mean, you know, like not just on paper or in art or what have you, but having something magnetized, it's all part of gravity too. Gravity is another power in the world and in the universe, and it's all connected together, which I thought was kind of very, very kind of cool. For all you guys and girls who are really, really into science, this could be a science project too. The magnetic field. The magnetic field is in between these 2 points right here, right? The positive and the negative. That is the magnetic field that we live our lives in. Just individual lives and the universe and beyond. So how's your animals? What did you choose, right? What did you choose for your animal? Again, that's really not that much important. What is important is this green dog I'm going to make being lifted off of the ground. And another thing about magnets I think is really cool is, have any of you ever seen those, what are those hoverboards, real hoverboards? They have hoverboards that use magnets. Yeah, it's really cool. You can go on YouTube, and they have these real hoverboards that literally hover above the ground. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. So, okay, I'm going to make a blue bunny. So, I want you to try to finish this up. I think these are kind of this would make a good science project. When you get back into school, you can talk about magnets and how they're like, not only do they move physical things around like bunny rabbits and green weenie dogs, but they also have other cool elements to them too. I think that's really kind of cool. So, try to be as positive as you can. It's, in a lot of ways, it's a choice. It's hard sometimes to make that choice to be happy or at least content, or at least, having a decent day. But we got to try. We got to try to be positive as much as we possibly can. And nobody really can make you do that. The only person that can make you do that is you. I wake up every day going, I'm going to try to be as positive as I possibly can, because I get things done. I get better. I get stuff that I want to get done and accomplish. So keep that in mind going forward. I will see you next time. Hopefully you'll finish this project. Again, when you go out in public, please wear one of these. I always wear one. But anyway, I want everybody to have a great day. It's chilly outside, but it's not bad. Go out and walk around your neighborhood or in your backyard. Go climb a tree. Do something to get out and be as positive as you can. Thank you for coming and listening to me and doing an art project with me, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.